It's me, Timmy Flyersguy. It's Monday, and you know what that means. It's podcast time. Welcome everyone to the Timmy Flyersguy podcast. This is a very special episode. This is a Q&A episode of the Timmy Flyersguy podcast. I am your host, Timmy Flyersguy. So let's get this underway. Our first question comes from Prince Playmates on Twitter. If you were the commissioner of the NHL, would you make any rule changes to the game? Yes, I would. There is one rule change I would like to enforce, and that is to do away with shootouts. I think it's ridiculous to lose a game in a skills competition. So let's do away with the shootouts and let's just keep playing till we have a winner. Our next question. What is the main thing you want to accomplish in life? And this is by at Sarah XO Miller on Twitter. Main thing I want to accomplish in life. To be the best me I can be. I know that may sound a little cheesy, but that's what I want to do. To be the best me I can be. Also, there's a lot of but the most important main thing I want to accomplish I'm trying to think hard here. You really put me on the spot here. Main accomplishment I want to accomplish in life. I would like to, damn, this is hard. Main thing I want to accomplish. Well, one thing I like to do is to make a difference in someone's life. That's what I'd like to do. I would like to make a difference in someone's life. A positive difference in someone's life. I'd like to help people. My next question comes from Kennedy on Instagram. What are your favorite 3 things? My favorite 3 things. I would have to say Flyers hockey, my friends, and my family. My next question comes from @CaringErin on Twitter. Hello, Erin. What got you so involved in the adult entertainment community? Well, what got me involved? Well, interacting with all of you on Twitter got me into the adult entertainment community. Because you're also nice to me, and I just really appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate the nice tweets that you send me on here. And what got me involved was 2017. I got really sick. I ended up in the hospital. And the people that reached out to me were people in the adult entertainment community. They tweeted me and they sent me a lot of well wishes, and I really appreciated that. And it made me see the adult entertainment community in a more positive light, because, yeah, they do a lot of stuff on camera that's for mature audiences, but off camera, they're some of the nicest people I've ever met. And I am truly grateful that I got to meet you, and I got to meet all of them through social media, and I have so much love in my heart for each and every one of you. I want you to all know that you are loved and you are appreciated. My next question comes from Veronica Moyer on Facebook. Veronica asked, who do you think is the most promising player that the Flyers signed in the offseason that will help the defensive situation, and why? I'm genuinely curious to see your response. Thanks. Okay. Most promising player. I would have to say Ryan Ellis. He's a good defenseman on the power play. He makes things happen, and he gets things done. So he would have some positive significance on Ivan Provorov, Travis Sanheim, and Justin Braun as well. He can make some of our mediocre defensemen look much better, in my opinion. And so I would say Ryan Ellis would be the most promising player. My next question comes from Glass Olive on Twitter. What are your top 5 favorite movies? This is going to be a tough one. At number 5, I would have to say Forrest Gump. Number 4, Mrs. Doubtfire. Number 3, Dead Poet Society. Number 2, Forrest Gump. And number 1, Slapshot. My next question, and this is from Andrew Stefalovich on Facebook. If the Flyers let Claude Giroux go after this season, who should be the next captain? I would say, I think Couturier, because he's proven to be a good player, and he's proven that he can get things done. He makes things happen, and the Flyers are a better team with Couturier in the lineup. So I think it would be good to pass the torch on the Couturier, because I think Couturier has earned it. I think he'd be a good captain. I really do. I think he'd be a good player to pass the torch to. And I think that Sean Couturier would be good in that role. I think he's ready. He earned his stripes. He's been on this team for a long time. And I think he deserves to see. That's just my opinion. Either him or Ryan Ellis, depending on how good Ryan Ellis does this season. Ryan Ellis has to earn that privilege. My next question comes from Sarah Brighton on Facebook. Sarah writes, who are the Flyers? The Philadelphia Flyers are a Philadelphia ice hockey team Established in 1967. Established by owner Ed Snyder, who originally owned the Philadelphia Eagles, came up with an idea to bring hockey to Philly. In 1967, the Flyers Arena, the Spectrum, was built. The Philadelphia Flyers were one of the first expansion teams in the NHL in 1967. Philadelphia Flyers have been in Philly since 1967. They will be starting their next season October 15th against the Vancouver Canucks. The Philadelphia Flyers won 2 Stanley Cups in 73, 74, 75. Philadelphia Flyers got close to winning their 3rd consecutive Stanley Cup, once in 1980 against the Islanders, then in 1985 against the Edmonton Oilers, in 1987 once again against the Edmonton Oilers, in 1997 against the Detroit Red Wings, and in 2010 against the Chicago Blackhawks. They came close each year, but didn't capture the cup. Philadelphia Flyers also had a minor league team as well called the Philadelphia Phantoms, established in 1996, and they were in Philly from 1996 to 2009, when they moved to Adirondack in Glens Falls, New York. In 2009, and they were in Glens Falls from 2009 to 2014, where they moved to Allentown to become the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. The Philadelphia Flyers used to play at the Spectrum, located in South Philadelphia. The Spectrum was torn down. The Philadelphia Flyers then moved out of the Spectrum, where a new building called the Core State Center was built in 1996-1997. The Philadelphia Phantoms used the Spectrum for most of their regular season games. But when the Spectrum was being used for certain events, like concerts or circus, the Philadelphia Phantoms would play at the Core State Center, which is now known as the Wells Fargo Center. Okay. My next question is from Mark Polziuk on YouTube. Hey Timmy, how do you think the Kraken will do this season? Do you think they will become a competitive team quickly like the last expansion team, the Golden Knights? That's a tough question. The Golden Knights have been a great team. I think Seattle Kraken, they have the right tools to be a great team, so I don't really know. We'll have to see how they how they do this season. And we'll have to see how the Golden Knights do this season as well. So I don't really know. I wish I did, you know. I wish I had psychic powers, but unfortunately I don't. My next question comes from Gingerbanks1 on Twitter. What is your biggest passion? When did you become a Flyers fan? My biggest passion in life is to live my life to the fullest, with no regrets. And when did I become a Flyers fan? I would say about when I was 5 years old. My father, may he rest in peace, I miss him every day, got me into the Philadelphia Flyers. He told me stories about the Flyers winning two Stanley Cups in 73, 74, and 74, 75. He told me how great those years were. And it just gave me this sense of passion for the hockey team. When I was 5 years old, I became a Flyers fan. I was so obsessed with hockey as a kid. I even had one of those hockey nets that I kept in the garage. And I even had one of them little hockey nets when I was a kid as well. And I was so obsessed with hockey, I did everything. Sang the national anthem, shot a ball at the net, watched every Flyers game on TV with my dad, and I was hooked. I love Flyers hockey. It was one of the greatest things I've ever seen on TV, and it's one of my favorite sports. I was never into football. I was never into baseball. Hockey just really captured my imagination. Just the sound of hockey sticks hitting the ice, the sound of hockey players skating, and the sound of a hockey puck hitting the post really caught my imagination. I loved hockey so much that I wanted to play hockey. I wanted to be a hockey player. But unfortunately, due to my disability and being wheelchair bound, I wasn't able to play. But that didn't stop me from loving my team. That didn't stop me from being a hockey fan. So I hope that answers your question. I wish I could give you more info, but it would take a long time to explain everything. Actually, maybe I do have some more time. My dad's the reason I love Flyers hockey. When he passed in 2016, I wanted so bad to see the Flyers win a Stanley Cup last year and the year before. I strive to see my team become Stanley Cup champions. And that's all I want. Not just for me, but for the memory of my dad. You see, I have a Flyers jersey with his initials and the date he was born. It's in my room somewhere. So when the season starts, I'll be hanging that up on my closet door. So my dad will be with me in spirit. I love my dad, and I wouldn't be a Flyers fan if it wasn't for him. And if it wasn't for the great city that I live in, Philadelphia. I know Philadelphia gets such a bad rap but Philadelphia has the greatest sports fan base in the United States. And that's why I love this city so much. And that's why I love this team so much. So thank you for this question. This was a great question. Every question on this list was great. And I want to thank everyone for asking me these questions. I had a few questions that I was going to answer from some of my friends. For some of my friends. And I apologize that I didn't get a chance to answer your questions. So I'm just going to answer some random questions that you might ask me. So, here's a question I think that Nicole Black would ask me. What is your favorite scary movie? And I would have to say, my favorite scary movie is It. I love It. The original It is my favorite movie. I never thought it was that scary, but it was my favorite scary movie. But it was very funny as well. Tim Curry as Pennywise the Clown, awesome. He was hilarious, but he was also very devious as well. So I like that movie. And here's a question that I think Danielle Black would ask me. Do you think that the Flyers are going to go all the way? Yes, I do think that. I'm very positive. I've always had a positive attitude about that. And I'm always going to be a Flyers fan. Here's a question that Paige Black might ask me. What do you do for fun? Well, I like to go outside. I like to hang out with friends. I like to have a good time. Just want to keep that simple. And here's a question that David Black Jr. might ask me. Trying to think here. What would David Black Jr. ask me? He would probably ask me. I'm not sure. He would probably ask me, how's everything going? How's the family? I mean, he would ask me, David Black would ask me, I know he'd probably, he's very inquisitive. So I think he'd probably ask me about, alright, I'm trying to think, David Black Jr., what would he ask me? Oh, I know. What is your favorite place to go on vacation? And I would tell him Seattle City. But here are some questions that David Black Sr. would ask. Hey, it's been a while. We haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? And I would tell Dave, I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm hoping that one day I can see you. And this question is for both Pat Black and David Black Sr. When are we going to see you again? I'm hoping that I'm able to drive my wheelchair again. I got a new wheelchair. I'm not able to drive it. But I'm going to go to the wheelchair manufacturer on Wednesday, and I'm gonna try to get this problem figured out. I hope that I get to see each and every one of you. I miss you all so much, and I hope that I get to hang out with you guys again. Cause you know there ain't no party like a Dave Black party. That's all I have to say. And I'm sorry I couldn't get to your question sooner. I know you wanted to ask me some questions, so I had to ad lib a little bit. So I apologize for that. But hopefully I'll see you guys soon. And now, here are some questions that I get frequently asked by people. Here's a question I get asked all the time. Why do hockey players fight in hockey? I don't know why they do that. Fighting in hockey is like asking, why do you like Apple Jacks? Because we just do. Why do hockey players fight? Because they just do. That's all I have to say. Another frequently asked question I get is, why am I in a wheelchair and what is my condition? When I was younger, I felt very uncomfortable about this question. So I'm gonna answer that question. When I was younger, I used to walk, and the doctor told me I was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. At the age of 5, I started walking up to the age of 9, and then the dystrophin in my body made my muscles weaker. Dystrophin is what gets into the muscles and makes the muscles weaker. As we progress by age. So I walked since I was 5 up until I was 9 years old. I lost my ability to walk and was wheelchair bound. I don't regret being disabled. I have no regrets about that. Am I still the same person I always was? Yes. But I don't let my disability define my character, and I don't let it define me as a person. I see myself as just like any ordinary human being. I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me. I just want to be treated like everyone else. That's all I want. So, I want to thank you all for joining my Q&A. And I want to thank you for contributing. And I'm sorry that I had to ad-lib. Nicole, I'm sorry. Danielle, I'm very sorry. And to the whole Black family, I'm so sorry that I didn't have time to put your questions in, because I am on a very big schedule during the day. I have to take medication. I have to do a lot of things. But I wanted to put you in this Q&A, so I had to add a few questions, so I apologize for that. So to everyone who participated, and to everyone that I wanted to be a part of this, Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a wonderfully gritty day. Thank you for joining me. This has been the Timmy Flyersguy podcast. Before I end this podcast, I have some suggestions. On Facebook, I have some suggestions. Some subscription, some YouTube subscription suggestions. I suggest that you subscribe to Alyssa Hope's YouTube channel. She talks about many hockey subjects and talks about many hockey players and what she calls jerk moments. So please check out her YouTube channel. That's Alyssa Hope on YouTube. I will leave a link in the description. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you all have a wonderfully gritty day. Thank you.
Yeah.